Question number 1. People use natural resources to make buildings, bridges, roads, machinery, and vehicles, which are known as.
Clear logic. Your choice human-made resource is sound and 100% true.
Question number 2. On the basis of the availability of supply, natural resources can be classified as dash, nan dash.
Smart move. Renewable and non-renewable is an accurate answer.
Question number 3. Which of the following resources is collected by the panels on the roof of his home?
On track. Sunlight is the correct answer.
Question number 4. Balancing the need to use resources and also conserve them for the future is called.
Excellent choice. Sustainable development is the right answer.
Question number 5. Resources that we find in nature and are used without much modification are called.
Nicely done. Natural resources is a solid answer.
Question number 6. Many of Florida's resources are used to make products people use. Kim uses the soap to clean clothes. From which of these Florida resources was clothes soap most likely made? Nice work. You chose phosphate and it is correct. Question number 7. Which of these forms of transportation conserves the most amount of energy?
Perfect. Bicycles is the correct choice.
Question number 8. What is the source of energy that causes the blades of a turbine to move?
Sharp thinking. Wind is the right choice.
Question number 9. What do you call a useful material that can be drawn from when needed? You're right. A resource is the correct answer.
Question number 10. Coal, natural gas, and petroleum are examples of renewable resources.
Solid response. False is a valid choice. Question number 11. Which one of the following is an example of renewable resource?
You got it. Your choice solar energy is right.
Question number 12. A farmer decides that he is going to produce his own energy on the farm by using a type of renewable energy. The renewable energy could come from dash.
Well reasoned. Setting up wind turbines is the correct choice. Question number 13. Why are resources distributed unequally over the earth? Smart pick. Quantity is the correct choice. Question number 14. Anything that can be used to satisfy human needs is a... Good job. Your answer resource works well here. Question number 15. On the basis of distribution, resources can be. Great job. Ubiquitous and localized is the accurate answer. Question number 16. Jacob is doing a report about limestone rock in Florida. Which of the following topics on limestone use in Florida will Jacob research?
Great thinking. Constructing buildings is the right choice.
Question number 17. Biotic resources are derived from.
Exactly. Living beings make sense, and it is right choice.
Question number 18. The distribution of resources is dash because factors like terrain, climate, and altitude differ so much over the Earth.
Correct. Unequal is the right answer.
Question number 19. Choose the correct option.
Nice selection. 85.7% is the correct and valid answer.
Question number 20. Agriculture is a dash.
Well done. Renewable resource is the right choice. Question number 21. We enjoy the beauty of mountains, waterfalls, sea, landscapes. Thus, they are resources which have dash value. Valid point. Aesthetic value is true.
Question number 22. Dash resources are found in a region but have not been utilized. Might be because of the lack of technology. Well picked. Potential is the correct answer.
Question number 23. People use natural resources to make buildings, bridges, roads, machinery and vehicles, which are known as.
Correct response. Human-made resource is the most accurate answer.
Question number 24. Name the term given to the resources that are drawn from nature and used without much modification.
Strong choice. Natural resources is the right answer.
Question number 25. Natural resource are classified into various types on the basis of.
You chose destruction, and it is correct.
Question number 26. Q4- resources refer to the number and ability of the people, e.g. knowledge, skill, etc.
Excellent. Human resource is a brilliant choice.
Question number 27. Time and technology are the two important factors that can change substances into resource.
Bravo. True is the answer.
Question number 28. Balancing the need to use resources and also conserve them for the future is called dash.
Right choice. Sustainable development is the best answer.
Question number 29. Resources that we find in nature and are used without much modification are called dash.
Right again. Natural resource is a valid answer.
Question number 30. Which resources are known to use but we don't have the technology to exploit to use?
Good thinking. Potential resource is the right answer.
Question number 31. Buildings, bridges, roads, machinery and vehicles are all examples of dash resources.
Correct response. Human-made is the most accurate answer.
Question number 32. Using resources carefully, judicially and giving them time to get renewed is called.
On track. Resource conservation is the correct answer.
Question number 33. Resources that are drawn from nature and used without much modification are called.
Right choice. Natural resources is the best answer.
Question number 34. Which of the following is not a way that people can be harmful to the environment? A.
Well done. Using solar energy is the right choice. Question number 35. The resources which can be used directly without any modification are called dash.
Smart move. Natural resources is an accurate answer.
Question number 36. Which of these sources is used for generating electricity that is not renewable?
Right again. Coal is a valid answer. Question number 37. Dash is the application of latest knowledge and skill in doing or making things.
Good thinking. Technology is the right answer.
Question number 38. Using the resource carefully and giving them time to get renewed is called dash.
Great job. Resource conservation is the accurate answer.
Question number 39. Wood is useful for making furniture because it is all of the following except.
Well picked. Magnetic is the correct answer.
Question number 40. Dash is a material that is found in nature and that is used by living things.
Well reasoned. Natural resource is the correct choice.
Question number 41. Which resource can be classified into renewable and non-renewable resources?
Nicely done. Natural resource is a solid answer.
Question number 42. Using resources carefully and giving them time to get renewed is known as.
Exactly. Resource conservation makes sense, and it is right choice.
Question number 43. Different ways to conserve natural resources are. Clear logic. Your choice deforestation is sound and 100% true.
Question number 44. Which of these forms of transportation conserves the most amount of energy?
You chose bicycles, and it is correct.
Question number 45. A dash is anything that can be used to satisfy human wants and has a value.
Nice work. You chose resource, and it is correct.
Question number 46. Resources that are found everywhere, like the air we breathe, are called dash. Good job. Your answer, ubiquitous, works well here.
Question number 47. The natural resource can be categorized into renewable and human resource. Solid response. False is a valid choice. Question number 48. All the things which are necessary for existence on the earth is known as. Nice selection. Resources is the correct and valid answer.
Question number 49. Electricity generated by water is known as hydropowered hydroelectricity. Valid point. True is true.
Question number 50. Resources which can be renewed or replenished quickly are known as dash. Great thinking. Renewable resources is the right choice. Question number 51. We use both renewable and non-renewable resources as sources of energy. Perfect. True is the correct choice. Question number 52. What depends on physical factors like terrain, climate, and altitude?
You're right. Distribution of natural resources is the correct answer.
Question number 53. On the basis of availability, natural resources are classified as.
Excellent. Ubiquitous and localized is a brilliant choice.
Question number 54. On the basis of origin, resources can be divided into which parts?
Strong choice. Both A and B is the right answer. Question number 55. Dash resources are those which get renewed or replenished quickly. You got it? Your choice renewable is right. Question number 56. The distribution of natural resources depends upon number of dash.
Smart pick. Physical factors is the correct choice.
Question number 57. Making a swing out of an old tire is a way to conserve resources. Bravo. True is the answer.
Question number 58. A thing become a resources when a dash has been identified.
Correct. Utility is the right answer. Question number 59. Which one of the following does not make substance a resources?
Sharp thinking. Quantity is the right choice.
Question number 60. Which are the factors which change a substance into a resource? Excellent choice. Time and technology is the right answer. Question number 61. Resources are distributed unequally over the earth because of.
Great job. The different natural conditions is the accurate answer.
Question number 62. The resources which take millions of years to get renewed are.
Nice selection. Non-renewable resources is the correct and valid answer.
Question number 63. Those resources whose amount or quantity is known are called.
Great thinking. Actual resources is the right choice.
Question number 64. Improving the knowledge, skill, health, wisdom is called dash.
Correct.
Human resource development is the right answer.
Question number 65. The exclusive right over any idea or invention is called dash.
Well picked. Patent is the correct answer.
Question number 66. Which of the following resources have maximum economic value? Clear logic. Your choice metals is sound and 100% true. Question number 67. Natural resources are the resources that are made by humans.
Solid response. False is a valid choice.
Question number 68. Anything that can be used to satisfy a need is known as dash.
Right again. Resource is a valid answer.
Question number 69. Which of the following is not a way to conserve resources?
Correct response. Remind is the most accurate answer.
Question number 70. Which of the following is an exhaustible natural resource?
Well done. Forest is the right choice.
Question number 71. Dash means the exclusive right over any idea or invention.
Smart pick. Patent is the correct choice. Question number 72. Resources, which can be renewed or reproduced, are known as.
Excellent. Renewable resource is a brilliant choice.
Question number 73. The surroundings in which people, animals, or plants live.
Sharp thinking. Environment is the right choice. Question number 74. What can individuals do to help in conserving resources?
Strong choice. Recycle and reuse things is the right answer.
Question number 75. The things that are used to satisfy our needs are called.
Perfect. Resources is the correct choice.
Question number 76. Utility is what makes an object or substance a recourse.
You got it. Your choice true is right.
Question number 77. Which of the following is an example of human resources?
Nice work. You chose people and it is correct.
Question number 78. The water from rivers are being used in homes as a dash.
Excellent choice. Resource is the right answer.
Question number 79. Which of the following are renewable sources of energy?
Well reasoned. Wind and water is the correct choice.
Question number 80. Anything that can be used to satisfy human needs is a.
Valid point. Resource is true.
Question number 81. All of the following are non-renewable resources except.
Bravo. Animals is the answer.
Question number 82. We should minimize the depletion of natural resources.
Smart move. True is an accurate answer.
Question number 83. Which one of the following is a human-made resources?
Exactly. Medicines to treat cancer makes sense and it is right choice.
Question number 84. Factor which help in the development of resources are.
Nicely done. All is a solid answer.
Question number 85.
All sources and substances have equal economic value. You chose false, and it is correct.
Question number 86. A substance or object becomes resource because of its.
You're right. Utility is the correct answer.
Question number 87. Those resources whose quantity is known is called dash.
Right choice. Actual is the best answer.
Question number 88. Resources which are found everywhere are called dash.
Good thinking. Ubiquitous resources is the right answer.
Question number 89. The damage to natural environment system should dash.
Good job. Your answer minimized works well here. Question number 90. Natural resources are found within the environment. On track. True is the correct answer.
Question number 91. When we have usefulness for a substance, it arises.
You chose utility, and it is correct.
Question number 92. Which of the following is a non-renewable resource?
Good job. Your answer minerals works well here.
Question number 93. The resources whose quantities are known, named as.
Excellent. Actual resources is a brilliant choice.
Question number 94. Resources are generally classified into dash types.
Correct response. 3 is the most accurate answer.
Question number 95. Sole right to an invention or thought called dash.
Solid response. Patent is a valid choice.
Question number 96. Resources created by human beings are called dash.
You're right. Man-made resources is the correct answer.
Question number 97. Which of these are examples of natural resources?
Well picked. Both A and C is the correct answer.
Question number 98. What are the 3 main categories of resources?
Well done. All of above is the right choice.
Question number 99. Which of these are not non-renewable resources?
Clear logic. Your choice petroleum is sound and 100% true.
Question number 100. The machinery and vehicles are examples of dash.
Nicely done. Human-made resources is a solid answer.
Question number 101. Time and technology adds dash to the resources.
Right again. Value worth is a valid answer.
Question number 102. Dash refers to number and abilities of people.
Well reasoned. Human resource is the correct choice.
Question number 103. Conservation is using resources without care.
Valid point. False is true.
Question number 104. Dash are an example of a renewable resource.
Exactly. Trees make sense and it is right choice.
Question number 105. Which of the following is not a fossil fuel?
Sharp thinking. Minerals is the right choice.
Question number 106. What is one way people help the environment?
Smart pick. Picking up litter is the correct choice.
Question number 107. Humans are not interdependent on each other.
Great job. False is the accurate answer.
Question number 108. To reduce the use of plastic bags is to dash.
Perfect. Use less plastic bags is the correct choice.
Question number 109. Which one of the following is not a value?
Smart move. Artistic value is an accurate answer.
Question number 110. What helps people to make valuable resource?
Strong choice. Both A and B is the right answer.
Question number 111. Water is also used for producing electricity.
Excellent choice. True is the right answer.
Question number 112. Is hydropower potential or actual resource?
Great thinking. Actual is the right choice.
Question number 113. Non-renewable resources are also known as.
Nice selection. Exhaustible resources is the correct and valid answer.
Question number 114. The example of non-renewable resources are
On track. Petrol and gases is the correct answer.
Question number 115, which is an example of a natural resource.
You got it. Your choice water is right.
Question number 116. Give 2 examples of ubiquitous resources.
Bravo! Sunlight, air is the answer.
Question number 117. Non-renewable resources dash be replaced.
Right choice. Cannot is the best answer.
Question number 118. Natural gas is a non-renewable resource.
Nice work. You chose true and it is correct.
question number 119. The example of human-made resources are
Correct. Buildings is the right answer.
Question number 120. All non-living things are known as dash.
Good thinking. A biotic resource is the right answer.
Question number 121. Which one of the resources is universal?
Perfect. Wind is the correct choice.
Question number 122. Heavy motor vehicles like trucks run on?
Right choice. Diesel is the best answer.
Question number 123. Which of them are not part of the 3 Ra's?
You chose repeat, and it is correct.
Question number 124. Joom cultivation was another name for.
Nicely done. Shifting cultivation is a solid answer.
Question number 125. The careful use of a resource is dash.
On track. Conservation is the correct answer.
Question number 126. Resources which are found everywhere.
Sharp thinking. Ubiquitous resources is the right choice.
Question number 127. Natural resources are classified into.
Valid point. Renewable and non-renewable is true.
Question number 128. Petroleum is a dash natural resource.
Correct. Exuli is the right answer.
Question number 129. What is the most important resource?
Well picked. Human resource is the correct answer.
Question number 130. Give an example of biotic resources.
Clear logic. Your choice animals is sound and 100% true.
Question number 131. All uses of renewable resources are.
Good thinking. Sustainable is the right answer.
Question number 132. Energy from the sun is known as dash.
Bravo. Solar energy is the answer.
Question number 133. People use cotton and wool for what?
Smart pick. To make clothing is the correct choice.
Question number 134. An example of human resource can be.
Right again. All of these is a valid answer.
Question number 135. Scientist is a human-made resource.
Excellent choice. False is the right answer.
Question number 136. Which of these have economic value?
Nice work. You chose metals, and it is correct.
Question number 137. Which one is a renewable resource?
Nice selection. All the above is the correct and valid answer.
Question number 138. Tropical forests are an example of.
Well done. Natural resources is the right choice.
Question number 139. Sunlight is dash a natural resource.
Great job. Inexhaustible is the accurate answer.
Question number 140. Which of these have some utility?
Solid response. All of these is a valid choice.
Question number 141. Resources that cannot be replaced.
You're right. Non-renewable resource is the correct answer.
Question number 142. People are human-made resources.
Great thinking. False is the right choice.
Question number 143. Processed food is an example of.
Good job. Your answer, human-made resources, works well here.
Question number 144. Dash resources are non-living.
You got it. Your choice abiotic is right.
Question number 145. Air and water are example of.
Correct response? Natural resource is the most accurate answer.
Question number 146. Dash is a renewable resource.
Smart move. Solar energy is an accurate answer.
Question number 147. Technology is an example of.
Exactly. Human-made resources make sense, and it is right choice.
Question number 148. The types of resources are.
Well-reasoned. All of the above is the correct choice.
Question number 149. Sunlight is dash resource.
Excellent. Renewable is a brilliant choice.
Question number 150. Coal is a natural resource.
Strong choice. True is the right answer.
Question number 151. Dash are human resources.
Smart move. People is an accurate answer.
Question number 152. Deserts have dash value.
Good thinking. Aesthetic is the right answer.
Question number 153. All resources have some.
Perfect. Value is the correct choice.
Question number 154. Living things are dash.
Nice selection. Biotic resource is the correct and valid answer.
Question number 155. Coal is an example of.
Right choice. Non-renewable resource is the best answer.
Question number 156. Abiotic resources are.
Excellent. Derived from non-living things is a brilliant choice.
Question number 157. People are resources.
Bravo. True is the answer.
Question number 158. Uranium in Ladakh is.
Strong choice. Potential resource is the right answer.
Question number 159. What is resource?
On track. Things that we use is the correct answer.
Question number 160. Dash means worth.
You got it. Your choice value is right.
Question number 161. Value means dash.
You're right. Worth is the correct answer.
Question number 162. What is value?
Excellent choice. Worth is the right answer. Question number 163. Utility means.
Right again. Usability is a valid answer.
Question number 164. Value means.
Correct. Worth is the right answer.
Question number 165. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format.
Well picked. Contact Narayan Changda on Facebook is the correct answer.